Welcome everyone, thank you so much for joining in. So as you can see, the price of Bitcoin did found support at this 50 weekly moving average and this rising trend line that has been acting as a support since March 2020, because in today's video I showed you why this support here was so important, because with each and every price retracement here in the past Bitcoin price action, this 50 weekly moving average along with this rising trend line always acted as a strong line of support, right? And after that we also saw some really nice price bounce of it. So that's why we said if the price of Bitcoin wants to show any sort of impulsive movement and also any sort of a relief rally, then we have to hold the support around this 46,800 to 46,900 price area. And now you can see the price of Bitcoin is around 48,000 price range. So what does this actually mean? Was that the flash crash and now we are ready for this new movement here to the upside? And if it's not, then what kind of scenario could still be playing out? And we should be also monitoring that very closely. Let me show you that. So guys, now what I'm going to do here in a daily time frame, I am going to add this falling trend line, because we can clearly see the price of Bitcoin seems to be somehow finding support around this falling trend line. And if I would add another falling trend line here to the upside, it will look like more of a broadening wedge, descending broadening wedge, where the price has found support at the lower line area and resistance at the upper line area. As you can see here, support, and this price pullback also ended exactly at the lower line area of this descending broadening wedge, and upper line was a strong line of resistance. So now if this was the bottom, right, if this lower line was the bottom around this price range of 41,000, and now the price of Bitcoin is ready for this new movement here to the upside, then what kind of scenario must play out? Because I will be monitoring one scenario which is known as dead cat bounce, because the dead cat bounce will actually show us whether the price of Bitcoin is ready for this new movement here to the upside, or is this going to be just a temporary or a relief rally before price again starts heading here to the downward direction. So for that, let me show you this dead cat bounce scenario. So according to this dead cat bounce chart, guys, we have four different phases. First one is the price reacts to news and swiftly moves along trend, and when we see this free fall, and at the point 2, after reaching the point 2 area, this is where the dead cat bounce scenario happened. From this point 2 till this point 3 area, the price retracement or this relief rally, and this retracement here in the traditional market is not going to be more than 50%, but since crypto is pretty volatile, we have said around 60% is where we will be also looking at. And if the price is actually going to reverse, then we have to pierce through the 0.5 Fibonacci line and also the 0.6 Fibonacci retracement line. But if this is going to be more of a dead cat bounce scenario, then the 0.5 and 0.6 is not going to let the price to break out of it. It's going to act as a resistance, and we are going to follow this 0.4, which is heading here to the downward direction. And now if we look in our case, what we are going to do here, we are going to add this Fibonacci line and monitor this price movement, because according to the Fibonacci line, from this swing high till this swing low, we can see very clearly the price of Bitcoin right now is showing this relief rally type of scenario. But if this is an actual trend reversal here in this manner, then just like what I showed you with this dead cat bounce, the 0.5 and the 0.618 Fibonacci line must be broken at any cost, because getting rejection from this 0.5 or even this 0.618 around this 50,600 and 52,600, guys, this could still act as a dead cat bounce, and price will continue this rally here to the downward direction. So that's why we will be monitoring this dead cat bounce scenario very closely, because the price of Bitcoin, if it wants to invalidate this dead cat bounce scenario, then we have to find a proper support above this 50,656 and also the 52,600 price area, and then this dead cat bounce will be invalid. And not just only Bitcoin, guys, if you also look at the price action of Ethereum right now, let me show you this one very interesting scenario following. So guys, now before I switch into other chart, I just want to make you aware, Bybit and Femex both are providing around $4,100 bonus each I mean, the total of $8,200 bonus is being provided for our community members. So if you are an experienced trader and want to take advantage of this market volatility, then this is the great opportunity, because Bybit, as you can see, is providing around $4,100 bonus if you use my ref link and sign up, which is going to take you not more than a minute, and also with Femex. So I personally use Bybit for trading, and if you want to trade altcoins, then Femex could be a great option as well. Now let's switch into other chart. So guys, before I show you this Ethereum chart, let's have a quick look at this Ethereum Bitcoin chart, because if you look at this Ethereum Bitcoin chart and also have watched my previous video regarding Ethereum, I made that very clear. Ethereum compared to Bitcoin looks very strong, and that has been seen today. The only resistance for us in this Ethereum Bitcoin chart is this 0.083 to 0.084. If we do flip this resistance into support, then we could be ready for this next movement, which will indicate that Ethereum could be outperforming Bitcoin, and the next possible target is going to be around this 0.1032 to 0.104 sats, guys. So that's why right now Ethereum compared to Bitcoin looks very strong. And now if you also look at this price action of Ethereum starting in a weekly time frame, let me show you this one scenario. So those who have watched my video, you know guys, nothing has changed so far, because if you simply look at this rising trend line, right, you can clearly see, guys, the price of Ethereum is still above this rising trend line, which is acting as a strong line of support around this 4,000 price area. So we were aware in the past Bitcoin price action, even if we would see any sort of a retracement, right, we are still clearly making these higher highs, higher lows continuation pattern for Ethereum. So that's why if the trend of Ethereum wants to show any sort of impulsive movement, then we also have to clearly find support around this 4,000 price range here in a bigger time frame, because this weekly is going to close tomorrow. So let's hope the price of it is also going to close above this 4,000 price range. And not just only here in a weekly, guys, if you also look at the price action here in a daily time frame, let me show you this one very interesting scenario. So guys, now what we are going to do, we are going to use this ascending channel and look at the price action of Ethereum here in a daily time frame, because we can see very clearly the upper line here was a strong line of resistance and lower line was a strong line of support, because we were aware, and we also talked about this on my previous video, the central line was the most important line for Ethereum, because we can see this same line, the central line, was acting as a strong line of support and also as a strong line of resistance. And that's why we said if we do fail the support around this 4,400, 4,500 range, then we could be approaching towards the lower line area, just like here from past Ethereum price action. And after that, you can see we had this really nice relief rally. So that's why if this is going to be a pretty similar scenario, then maybe we could be retesting this lower line one more time, and again price trying to break here in an upper direction, just like here from past price action, guys. And now if you look at this price structure in a smaller time frame or even a daily time frame, let me show you this one scenario that could be actually pointing out we could see some more retracement before an actual trend direction will be chosen. Why? Because you can see here, so this here is again enough. So now what I'm actually going to do here, guys, I will be adding this one scenario, which is known as ascending right angle broadening formation. And according to this ascending right angle broadening formation, it usually occurs when the trend is in a downtrend. In our case, even though we are aware around this 4,000, we have this very strong line of support from this rising trend line in a weekly time frame. So if this is going to play out as a ascending right angle broadening formation, then we are aware the lower line support must be held at any cost, because in our case, if the price is unable to find support around the lower line area of this right angle ascending broadening wedge, then you can see, guys, we could be starting this new move again here to the downward direction. So if this trend is going to continue here to the downside, then maybe, right, this lower line could be retested one more time. That could bring the price again around this 3,600 to 3,500 area. So let's see how these scenarios are going to play out. But for Bitcoin, the most important thing is to invalidate this dead cat bounce scenario. So guys, now these are some of the scenarios I thought sharing with you in today's episode. If you enjoyed my work, then please hit the like button, and for those individual watching this for the first time, hit that subscribe button and the bell. So by saying this, I'm signing out. My name is Anup. Bye bye, guys.